10 seconds.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the View from the Dead Box. It's your boys. We're in here trying to grind out some cash for you guys, trying to talk about what's going on. What's going on, Mike?
I don't know, man. It's all over the place.
Yeah?
Who we got? Is that a guest in the background, or is she just playing COD?
It's somebody playing some Call of Duty back there.
She's like, y'all better not interview me. I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, if you guys hear something raging in the background, it's my wife getting like spawn trapped and destroyed in Call of Duty. So what you got going on today? You did some shooting today, huh?
I did some shooting. Yeah, I went to the shooting range, trying out some guns I've been working on. I think you did the same, huh?
I did.
Two people shooting two different ranges.
It's hilarious actually because we were like probably 10 minutes apart.
Yep. But it's been crazy, man. I mean, obviously paintball still got its COVID going on. I don't know. I want to say it's getting better, but I don't know. MVPS, they're doing something. They got a live stream going on this weekend. They're doing 10
They have
man?
a 10-man. Yep, 10-man.
I saw that.
We got a busy-ass month coming up here in August. Yeah?
Yeah, we do. I mean, it started.
We have that Augusta away practice.
Yep.
And then we have the MVPS, possibly. And then the week after that, we have the CPSL, so it's definitely going to be wide open.
Yeah, I think this weekend is the only weekend where most people are probably taking off. I don't know if everybody is, but
to be honest with you, I think most of us are going out Sunday to drill.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah.
That's even better then.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I guess I'll be out there to drill if everybody else is going. I thought people weren't going.
Jamie says he doesn't want to miss it. Frank's coming out there, so and I'm sure Shane and Payne. Chuck will be going to Florida. But,
yeah.
I think I think we'll have probably almost 15, 20 people with, all the other team that's going to be out
the kids
there.
Too. Yeah.
So it's going to be, I think it'll be good.
Cool. I guess I'll make an appearance then for everybody. Yeah, everyone wants to see me. So I got a couple topics. Nothing too crazy. I mean, it's been.
I basically rely on you to pull these topics.
Oh, I know you do. I sit at work sometimes and I'm like, shit, we're doing a podcast, and I go through my list. I was checking them off, but sometimes I forget, and sometimes we might talk about something real quick for 5 minutes, or it might be 25 minutes. So I'm like, I gotta think, like, did we cover this? So if I start talking and we covered it, you gotta kind of remember, because I know we could just talk about some bullshit. But
I need to bring in some topics because I always forget that we're even shooting a podcast, and then you'll text me like 30 minutes prior, like, "Hey man, I'm about to hop in the shower. You good to go?" I'm like, "Holy shit!" So yeah, let's get into it. What you got?
Okay, so this it's changed over time. So back in the day, everyone was all about their getting your upgrades for your paintball gun, your ups. And people would be like, "I'm selling an up ion."
Gotta have the bolt. Gotta have the trigger. Double. You gotta. I got some of the triggers, I guess.
Yeah.
Got a barrel. I mean, barrels are obsolete now, right?
Barrels are obsolete. Boards are obsolete. Triggers.
Or chips for you guys, youngins that don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We used to have the old DMs and stuff like that, and we would get these microchips, and it would actually stick into the board and reprogram the board. It was pretty.
It's crazy.
1914. IBM technology that we had going on, but it was like back then you felt like you were a fucking mad scientist.
Yes,
like,
you did.
Just like hooking this cheater board. I know we all ran like the original like Virtues were all that way.
Yep.
We had all the cheater modes and stuff, which was super cool.
Yep.
What you had. This is not a thing anymore.
No, it's not a thing. It's crazy because it was such a big thing. I mean, you had so many. Tadawul. I can't even pronounce it correctly. Virtue were the two big board companies, but there was another company, Lucky, that made some boards. Yeah. They also made barrels and stuff too. I'm sure other stuff. The Hater boards, those were those were all big.
In the Packer world, you had the obviously E1, E2.
Yep.
And you had the Sci-Fi board, which I guess is a big thing. I don't really know it, but I know a lot of guys put Sci-Fi boards still in the autococker side for the E-blades.
That's awesome.
But that's just upgrading, I think, is really just a thing of the past. These guys build these guns, and you just get them out of the box and just beat the shit out of them. That's
the
all you
same.
have.
Clamping feed necks. I mean, how many guns did you have back in the day that didn't come factory with a clamping feed neck? And now, if someone ever sold a new gun without a clamping feed neck, I'd be like, okay, you're a dummy. Like, why are you selling that thing?
Yep.
But I mean, barrels. Now there's barrel kits, so
but the guns typically come with them, like the Luxes. God's gift of paintball gun. They have freaks, so you just need a shim or extra shim or two.
Yep.
The Forces, the same thing. It's another style of freak, but it's called the AccuLock. You just switch the shims out in it. The FL kits that are in the CS series and LV1s, it's all the same thing. And they're really just everybody's barrel is pretty on par. Yep. You just have to get an extra back or an extra shim. It's one downfall I think about the FL series is it costs a little bit more because you have to buy an entire back compared to the AccuLock and the Freak. You're just buying like an $8 shim and moving on,
Yep.
So
do you think that was going away from it? Do you think that killed some of these small companies, or do you think it was just? Do you think the big companies realized we should just be putting this in here from the was that their way of innovating the product?
Yeah, it's like I think they trial and error. They're like, well, let's put these guns together and see what everybody's upgrading. All right, they're upgrading the triggers, they're upgrading the bolts. Because remember, and some of those pull-out guns still get upgraded bolt systems. Yep. But what's that? Pooty used to have and I got scammed. His douche ass got me for like $250 one time. I bought like this bubblegum pink stage 38.9 bolt that I literally bought everything. It's a flat-faced bubblegum pink can bolt. Bolt guide, all this kind of shit. It was like $260. I put it in my 1.0, 1.5, and it shot like complete asshole. And I just had it when it shot for a bag, it shot amazing. And then it would leak and it would go down and it would shoot down and it had inconsistency in the chrono. I'd snatched it back out and stuck my stock bolt back in it. No hiccups.
You must have just had bad luck because I hear a lot of people like his stuff. I mean, you're going, what I mean?
But now, while we're talking about when it was out like originally, right? Yeah. I do hear a lot of good things now, but now, to my understanding, he's taking Lux's parts and just polishing them. Yeah. Back then, he was making his own parts. Like, he was designing his own bolts, which is very innovative. Oh, yeah. But now I think he's just, like, polishing up bolts, which is still really good and stuff. Yeah.
Because he used to make the EF rods too. Did you ever have one of those for Lux? I had one of my 1.0. That's the only thing I ever did to it.
I always had an issue of hearing guys blow their guns apart with them because you had to turn the HPR up to compensate. And then I would always hear like noise leaking and stuff like that over a period of time.
Thankfully, never had a problem with mine. I sold that thing pretty quick thereafter. So some dude somewhere probably is like, "Oh, this thing's not a piece of shit."
Son of a piece of shit. The shockers, remember the old shockers? They had like the orange bolt and you had all these kind of crazy ass bolts, or the old this is almost before your time, the old original Matrixes. There was like 58 bolt kits that came with that gun, and they had
I did not know that.
Stackers, and the bolt went to the back of the gun like normal, but it had a huge rod that went all the way through and actually screwed the gun.
And a 9-volt sat in the back, right?
Yes, yeah, and it screwed the breech on. When you unscrew the back cap, the breech of the gun would come off in your hand.
That's awesome.
And the bolt system was in there. You take that out, and then they had all kinds of like probably 4 or 5 different bolt systems that went in there. I believe the main one was like an orange bolt. I believe this guy, this guy Powell used to have bought an NYX. I think that was one of our other players named Country at the time, and that was still one of my favorite guns that I've ever shot. It's an old, like a original. We just say DM3s, but original Matrix that is a NYX series, like the protein. If you look on top of the gun, it has a huge Punisher skull, like carved into it.
I remember
that was probably. I think I played 01 or 02 Cup with it. Cheating like a motherfucker. It was adding all kinds of shots up top, and it was semi back then. I think it was semi, but boy, it was adding like every if you've maintained or like 9 to 12, it would add like 3 or 4 shots up in there somewhere. I knew I wasn't shooting nowhere near as fast as that thing, but most of the refs couldn't shoot the gun more than 12 balls a second anyways. Like they'd walk it like 8 or 10. They go, oh, okay, well, no, it's good. If you really ripped on it, the debounce settings, mechanical bounce, it would have it just adding all kinds of damn shots up top, and it was wild. You had to have like a Halo on max rating to like keep up with it. It was insane. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think there's really just no room for upgrades anymore. I think these stock companies are just making these guns out the box ready as close as it seems, I think, man. So it probably has killed a lot of small companies.
I agree. I mean, because I bought an Ion from your dad probably 05 or 06, and I literally swapped everything out of it. Virtue board, had an Empire revolver kit, Q-Lock feed neck, different trigger. The only thing I never changed, which was dumb, was the reg. Yeah. Everything else was changed on that gun. And I even turned it into autococker threads because you could just get different breech kits for those.
Yep.
And I was like, okay. And I had that gun probably about 2 years. And after looking at it, I was like, the kid in me was like, you paid like $900 for that Ion. Like, I mean, the Virtue board was $200. The barrel kit, $150 probably. I mean, I don't even remember, but I was like, God, I could have bought like
that's the
Ego.
That's the poor man's way of playing paintball, right? You buy an entry-level gun, and then you just dump money into it. Yeah. And then at the end, you could have bought a $700 gun and had a way better gun, but now you have a $300 gun that you've sent $1,000 into, and you're like, shit.
Yep, because I ended up selling that thing, I think, with a Halo and like a 45 tank. I want to say I sold for like $350. Everything. And I was like, ugh, like thinking, is it better to part this thing out, or did I just take this cash and run it? And I took the cash run and went and bought a PM7 from your
dad. Yep. The only thing that it still works with upgrading is cockers. Yeah. Guys still upgrade because that's such a niche community that there's so many companies that make like special LPRs and 3-ways and triggers and grip frames and bolts. You got your main 3, which are Shock Tech, Free Flow, and Inception Designs. They're about the biggest 3 now, which is crazy. Dye has released 3-way, an LPR, and a RAM. I think those are 3 things. And I think those are 3 things. Basically, all their parts that were shit on their ultralight like 12, 15 years ago, they fixed all those parts and just came out with them in 2020. That's shit. Awesome.
That's great. I really didn't. I saw a little bit, but I didn't really pay much attention to it.
When you order the free flow guns, you have an option to put the die parts on those guns.
That's awesome.
Buddy will actually put them on the guns for you. He has a couple pictures of the new, I want to say they were Locusts that just came out, or Millenniums, whatever the two, that have die parts on them. And they look pretty badass. They're a lot smaller too. That's cool. Yeah, and I think Billy Wing himself has direct in-hand designed those parts for those guns. I've heard that he was directly for like 10 years. They were trying to figure out the best, most efficient LPR and 3-way setup for those guns.
Might be the best one on the market if they did it right.
And Buddy will say, like, I won't put any other parts on these guns. I won't stand behind. He's like, and he tested them for like a year before they came out, and he's standing behind him now. So that's it, man. Yeah, I think upgrading is a thing of the past.
I do too. You hit on it just for a split second. You're talking about the chips. I never did any on boards, but I remember doing the ones in the Velocities and the Velocity Juniors. They had like the Virtue one. I had an Excessive chip and a Dynasty chip.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I had those 3, and I remember moving them around. Like if I was using the Velocity, I would put the Excessive chip in it or whatever, and then like I'd switch back to my Junior or whatever. I'd be like, oh, I gotta have my Excessive chip. Probably didn't do shit. No. It was, and I still have them. Like they're in my parts.
Every time I had them, I'm like, a Excessive Velocity. I think.
Yeah, because the little paddles in there were different shape. The Dynasty ones were blue and they were more triangle, and I don't remember what the Excessives ones were. I just remember seeing them. But
yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, I'm glad you remembered all the old upgrades from the back in the day.
Yeah, I went through that time. Like I grew up upgrading our cockers from. I had a 99 vert dog shit gun, and then there's still pictures of me playing ANS parts, and this is before ANS was ANS, right?
Yeah.
ANS, their old Gen 1 cockers out then we had Gen 2s, and then we had Gen 3s. But I had all the Gen 2 parts on my 99 vert feed cocker. I say vert feed, sorry. 99 side feed cocker.
Yep.
And there's pictures of me with like a red elbow with a Revy on my gun.
That is awesome.
And it has like full Gen 3 or Gen 2 ANS parts all over it. It was like it's a matte black body, which they all were, right?
Yep.
And it was solid chrome and red parts all over the gun. Had a red block, a red push-button bolt, all chrome red and accents on the front. Like everything was that way. Had a 45 A&S trigger frame because A&S was like the goat back then. And I wonder how that worked. Like, I wonder if they said we can just start ripping people off in the store, and just stop making guns and parts and just opened up a one-stop shop basically.
I mean, they bought Action Village too. That was the one I always.
Maybe that's what they did.
I always shopped Action Village and First Call.
It wasn't Action. Well, it was Action Village, but there was what was the other name of the website? It was like
it was the skateboard side.
Yes, but it was
remember.
Yeah, damn, what was it called? But anyways, Action Village, paintball or something.
Yeah, and I did paintball discounters and paintball online. I bought from those two when I was a kid, and then First Call, obviously. I've never done Punishers, but I've always looked.
They're still around. We love dealing with Bobby Weeks that owns First Call. He was around forever. He always helped us out at all the events. We would play, PSP back then, or we played the 7-man series. I was up there with him. Always took care of us. Great guy. Yep. So
he even hooked me up at Cup probably 2008 or 2009. He gave me a great deal on a rotor. Like either the first year they had been out, or maybe actually might have been the second year. They'd been out one full year, and we were helping him tear down. And he had one rotor sitting out there, and I was like, asked your dad, I was like, you think he'll give me a deal on that? And your dad was like, I'll go talk to him. And your dad came back and was like, oh yeah, here. He said it's this much. And I was like, okay, that's like $60 less than everywhere else. I will take it, sir.
If we ever got our ass beat like at an event and we would wait like Sunday if we got knocked out early, he'd be like, hey, come help me take this damn tent down.
Yep.
So we'd be unboothing his tent and taking everything down. He's like, we get done. He's like, go up on the wall and get you a jersey you want.
Yep.
I'm like, woo!
Yep. I actually got that Hurricanes one. You can kind of see it in the background.
I think all of us got this jersey.
Yep.
That's how we got Hurricane jerseys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, good times. So that's a little paintball gun. Now I'll give you some time to make fun of some people because I know this is what you like to do.
Sweet.
What's your first reaction when you see someone shooting with a good old chicken wing out?
Oh God, I always feel that they watch way too much dirter videos 10 years ago, and they're stuck in the past, right? I'm like, all this dude's been watching old like Mardi Gras dirter videos.
Yeah.
This dude he's about to get his shit on big time.
So
because that's the thing. Like that's the thing of the past. Like we just don't train that way anymore.
Nope.
Like, when I train a little kid to like play, that's just like that's not even a thing in their head. Like I don't would ever tell somebody put your I wonder what came of that.
I don't know.
I don't know. Your elbow out.
You don't look dumb. You just look like you did this. You started playing paintball 15 years ago and then stopped for 15 years.
Yes.
Like it doesn't look bad because I went through a little stage where me and Jamie both, like you said, it's probably 2006, 2007. We were starting to get into the tournament side. We saw old videos on YouTube of people doing it. So Jamie's running around with his elbows sticking out. And I'm like, oh, well, Jamie's doing it. I guess I'm going to do it too. So I'm running around my chicken wing. But yeah, I don't know. Now, when I say chicken wing, what local player comes to your mind? Or do you have a local? I have one, but I'm not sure if you
Hold on. I'm thinking. Hold on. Local player.
Well, I say local player. He might not play anymore, but he's someone we both know. And he's played with us recently, but might not be playing right now.
Fuck.
It's one of our friends. He lives right here with us. And I could probably – I'm talking, so let's keep thinking here. So I'm trying to not have radio silence.
I'm trying to think.
What else can I say? I could probably go on his Facebook page or maybe even my Facebook page.
Oh, Ben Nutting.
Yes.
Ben Nutting. Yes, God.
I hope Ben listens. I don't know if he listens to these, but if he does, I'll definitely get some shit for it.
But he stopped playing for a long time,
yeah,
and then came back into it, and then that's I think he stopped playing when that was a big thing, and then now he back into it. It's his muscle memory. It's what he was trained to do.
I guess it's crazy though. When I see you really don't see it a lot anymore. I think people kind of nip it in the butt because it I guess could be a bad habit. You don't need your elbows sticking way out there like that. I mean, It doesn't really make you any bigger. I guess I don't know because your body's behind it, but it just I don't know. I'm like you. I want to know why it became a thing.
Yes.
But I don't know.
Stabilization is another thing I can think of, but
yeah,
I don't know if
thought
that's
balance,
a thing or not.
like
Yes, stable. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's a thing. Maybe someone will message me when this comes out and say this is why we chicken wing.
I
But
don't know.
you know what I mean. I keep doing it.
I was
trying
just
to
trying
figure
to
out.
like that's not a thing to me.
Because I mean,
Like,
I mean, my elbow sticks out, but it's not like 90 degrees.
Like I get everything tight and then small and then run. Which, by the way, tell me, I give Strohmeyer so much shit every week about how slow he is, right? Tell me the first thing that Chris says is to Stro when he watched that video said, Stro, how fucking slow are you? And he said, what do you mean? He said, you were dead sprinting to the snake and Wes is running behind you, running and gunning or in front of you the entire time you left the box. He said, hey, man, it is what it is.
For those of y'all that don't know what he's talking about, I'll probably have to attach the video. I got next two podcasts. You'll see the video attached to the end.
Fucking clown.
Fucking clown. We were playing a scrimmage up here in Big Indian in Perry, Georgia, and we had one of our teammates come from Florida, Matthew, and you
bless
see
his
him
heart.
run for this.
Drove 5 hours one way roughly to come scrimmage with us.
Yeah, and it was very much appreciated. But needless to say, you could see Wes outrun him to a corner, and then about a minute later, I make a call out where I think someone's at this 50 snake, and somebody was at 50 snake, but it was a teammate, and my co-host here bunkered the living fuck out of him. Like, and we've got 2 views of it, so they'll definitely be at the end of this podcast.
God. That's gonna be great. I have the barrel cam footage where I just dunk his ass, and then Courtney is like on the sidelines reffing, and she's watching Matt do great in the snake and just like melt people, and then you see me just go by and just trash his ass in the snake.
Yeah, I mean, I made the call. Wes did what he was supposed to do. I blame Matthew for where he was in the snake. He backed up and shot inside, and all I saw was a barrel tip. And when I made that call, Wes fucking roasted him. Like, how many shots? 4 or 5? And you can see the one in the video.
4. It was back to the leg, 2 in the back, and 1 in the back of the head. So here, and then in the video, and her here, fucking clown. Right when I came around, I started shooting his bunker, so the paint was already there. And then right when I seen the paint hitting him, I was like, I already knew. I'm like, this dumb motherfucker. I'm like, and now I'm Matt. I'm like, fucking clown. I was talking to Mike because Mike said, Viper. So I just took off. Boom. Oh, no. I'm like, oh, come on, man. He's like, dude, what the fuck? And he had a headache instantly. He went straight to the car, got popped to leave. I was like, oh, my God, my head. Sorry, dude.
I wish everyone saw my angle. That's the only thing that would make it better, because then you would have every player's perspective. But it is what it is, I guess. All right. So we've talked about paintball gun upgrades tonight. We hit on the chicken wings.
Ugh.
Yeah, no. Ugh. All right. So do you think paintball has given you a different type of life than you would have normally had? And, like, how so?
Yeah. It cost me a lot of fucking money.
Okay.
Like, I could have a lot of nice things, like a lot more. I say like I don't have nice things, but I could have more nice things, way more nice things. Think about how much money over time you have spent on traveling, tournament entry fee, paint, hotel, food, guns, all this gear, all depreciates value, and
But do you think it's worth it in the end? Would you do it again, basically?
Yeah, I probably would.
I think I would too.
I play just because of my friends. That's why I play. Like, you know what I mean?
I agree.
Guys, like I said, like on the last podcast, was that I don't play for fun anymore. Like, I stopped playing for fun. I think I said that in the very, very beginning we even started. Somebody always says, like, all right, dude, go out there and have some fun. Like, I don't play for fun. Like, I haven't played for fun since I've been like 13. So I play now to like embarrass people and like talk shit and just to make memories with my friends. Like, that's the only reason. And the travel, like, it's great to like travel, like I say around the world, but like travel, state to state and go to these random different places and just be like hanging out with your buddies and like having a good time. Like, that's you're making memories, as cliche as that sounds. Which ultimately that's what you're doing. So
fair enough. I like it. Yeah, mine's pretty much the same. It is a lot of money, but I think I would do it again and again. There's certain things we could do as paintball players that a lot of people just don't. They don't get unless you're a paintball player. Like, I know everyone says that, like, only a paintball player would understand what the life of a tournament paintball player actually is. And it's completely different. I mean, we got friends all over the states, like mostly Florida, but I mean, Texas, Washington State. I mean, we know people all over. So it's given me an opportunity to meet people I would have never met if I'd never played paintball. So
it's true.
Yep. What about you? You been thinking? You were clicking something. I was getting ready to text you. I was getting ready to say, you prick, because I could hear it snapping in the background.
Oh, you can hear that?
So anybody who heard that, I picked up my phone to text him, and he stopped clicking. So if it pisses anybody else off.
Oh, my bad. I did not think. I've been playing with
I think I know what it is. Yeah, I thought so. I heard it clicking, and I was like, That's exactly.
So, yeah, I've been not like that, but I was so.
You're dropping the mag.
Yeah, I was. I didn't think it was that loud. My bad. We'll see how loud it is. Play back. I'll put that down now. So.
Because you always bring me something controversial, but he also told me he came a little unprepared tonight, so now he's kind of on the spot.
Yeah. It was. I didn't. You told me earlier in the week that we were shooting this. We had to film a few, and I definitely didn't bring anything to the table today.
Oh my god!
I didn't bring any topics or anything like that, so which is just complete dog shit.
You're fucking fired.
I do have one thing that I want to say. Sturmar is complete dog shit, and it's fucking clown. So he get dunked on the snake like that. Shave it down in the S1, shooting him in the back. There's nobody on that side of the field. You're bummed.
I mean, fair enough.
What do you think, as a player / coach, is the first thing you should be working on as like a D4 to D3 player in the season, right? Because I don't want to say like drilling, you say it like that. Like, that's just very
we've talked about that before.
Blah. But like, what do you? Because that's a hump. I see a lot of players as the D4 level, like struggle to, and they go to D3, they get like just pooped on. What do you think players should be doing from D4 to make that leap into D3?
I think communication is the biggest thing. I think D4 teams communicate. I don't think a lot of them communicate the correct way. You're seeing it more now. I think there need to be more call-outs in like bunker, like code names, I guess so I put it. I think that's a big one. And then I think team chemistry. I think people don't need to go bounce from team to team to team. It's different if you're picking up and going to go guest with someone. But I think if you want to have obviously not everyone will be good enough to move up, but you'll have enough players that are D4 to D3 who will play at D3 level and can compete there.
Yeah.
So you won't be able to play with your friends. If you were going to take it 100% seriously, you wouldn't be able to play with your friends for your whole life. You would have to leave them and go to better teams. But if you could stay as a Division 4 team and move together to Division 3, I think that would completely set you apart from other Division 3 teams. And then because y'all's communication is just going to get better from there. Like bunker names or knowing what your teammate is thinking. Like there's times I can have casual conversations with Wes along with many of the other players on our team. And we're career Division 4, Division 3 players.
Woo!
So take that for what it is. But I would say we know quite a bit.
You know how hard it is for me to get ranked back down to D3 so I can play with like all my buddies again?
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a lot of determination.
A lot of bullshitting around, huh?
Yeah, a lot of fucking around. So I can let my points drop back off. Because if not, I'm like the bane of my existence being D2 and not be able to play with anybody without traveling 5 hours one way.
Yep.
It's not gonna happen. I don't care about the sport enough anymore to drive 10 hours round trip every single weekend.
Yeah,
to play with a bunch of dudes that I don't know.
That's just me too. So what do you think? What do you think would be like the biggest thing a Division 4 player should do when he's going to Division 3?
Commitment.
Commitment? Okay.
That whole like every other weekend thing, I think goes out the window. Like
I would agree too.
D3 and be competitive. I think you need to be playing every single weekend.
Yeah.
I think you need to be there early. like when the field opens, you should be there generally right after, right? And like not fucking around, not talking, not beating your dick, like get your shit, get on the field. Nobody's there, start drilling, start like, doing some running and gunning, some snap shooting, just do a little bit of drilling. That's fine. And then when the guys get there, get them going and get the practice rolling. I think a lot of our time, and we're very guilty of like dicking around and burning up a lot of time at practice. But I think the commitment level of D3 players in that category is way higher than D4 players, because I think D4, you could casually play around and joke around and have a good time, where when you play against D3 teams, most of the guys are playing every single weekend, and they're typically always traveling at least 1 weekend a month, going to play other teams, and they are just I don't want to say like they're more committed, but they are more dedicated, right?
Yeah,
they
exactly.
feel like I'm playing at D3 level now, like I'm going to be spending a lot of money. This isn't for fun anymore. Like you're not playing D3 for fun. Now D3 is like an amazing, it's just, to me, it's just the same bums play D4 but they play D3. I see the same guys forever, but I feel that they take it a lot more serious.
Yeah, I would agree.
I put enough D2 in my life and open to know when you play against those guys, they go out in the field to work. They don't go out in the field to like see their buddies and have a good time. They're just putting in work and work and work and work and work because they want to just win. That's all they want to do. So if something doesn't go their way, like at practice or something fucked up, they get on somebody's ass instantly. Boom, jump like this. You messed up here. You messed up here. You messed up here. These are the problems. Let's get them fixed now. Like, you know what I mean? Some people can't handle that.
And a lot of those too would be they're going to be organizations at that point. A lot of Division 4s won't have actual orgs. It'll be your Division 3 will be there because they have a Division 2, a Division 3, and a Division 4 team. And maybe higher. I mean, just depending on who it is. But there's a lot more just Division 4 teams that aren't like attached to a bigger organization. So that definitely helps because then you're getting dedicated coaches as well. And that's going to trickle down from a D2 guy coaching or however you end up.
Once you start competing in D3, X-ball and higher, typically D2 is the main skill gap. I feel like those guys aren't any better, but they just have 7 other guys that are very good. So you're playing against 8 people to 10 people that are very good, that are all within an organization that are a very organized, like 50-man roster that they have 6 lines with and they pull from, you know what I mean? They have all these feeder teams. They're training and beating the shit out of every weekend that are only getting better. So that means their D4 guys and D3 guys are only getting better because they're playing against D3 and D2 guys all the time. I think that was a lot of our problem for a long time is our guys were always a bit lazy and they didn't want to travel to go play other good teams. They want to hang out, have a good time, which is perfectly fine. But sooner or later, when you start taking it and start playing all these events, like I think right now we might get lucky, but we'll only have like probably 2 D3 players at the end of the season. But it's a possibility that, depending on how well we do this season, that we have more than 2 D3 because Daniel Truesdale will actually be moving out here, one of my buddies, and he's already a D3 ranked guy. So as long as everybody stays the same, we'll be fine to play X-ball next year. But if we're going to play the entire full season of MPS and some CPSL, I think some of our guys would click D3 we'd be into the D3 category. And I just don't feel that the level of commitment and work ethic to be a D3 X-ball team. Because a D3 5-man team, I think we could probably steamroll dudes.
Yeah, I would say so too.
It's very easy. D3 X-ball, no, because you're playing against a lot of old D2 guys and that typically have 2 D2 guys on the team that are old D1 players. So you're playing I feel in X-ball you're always playing typically a division up is what you're always playing.
I would agree. I think you're right.
So I think if we would have played D3 this upcoming season, we'd probably have a struggle the entire season, to where D4, when we take it serious and everybody plays that they're supposed to play, we can beat anybody, right?
Absolutely.
But do we always play that way? No. Do we always take it that serious and we want to strive and win that much. Probably not.
We're so weird.
It's very odd.
It depends on what month you get us. Like, honestly, you might get one month where it's this year has been fucked up, and it has been for every team, so I'm not really counting this, but it's like sometimes it's everyone is on time. We're working by 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're shooting a case and a half by 1, and we're out. We're having a team lunch, and everyone's back home at their house by 3 o'clock. Like, it's crazy. And then other times it's like we're bullshitting around. We're starting to play 10:30.
Yeah.
We shoot a case of paint. We're done by 2. We go get lunch and everything. So it's like it's been a longer day and a less productive day. Yeah.
Like I was trying to push the practice along as fast as I could in Big Indian because Dwayne was nice to hook us up with the field for the day, and I felt like we really got great usage out of the time. And most of us played much as I wanted to play, but I needed to sit out games and watch how everybody was playing separately. I feel that my level now, I can and then try to maybe watch some guys and critique them in certain areas to only make them better. And I wanted to get to some games and watch Strokes. I haven't seen Stroke play in a while. He's typically always playing with me, and I haven't seen him play, so I like to shit on him a good bit. So I want to see how he was doing. But
we played 25, 30 points. It was a lot.
Yeah, we played a lot of points, because we were just –
I shot 2 cases of paint, which is very rare for me to do at a practice. Yeah, I mean, I played all the way up until the last set, and I was like – at that point, I was borrowing paint for people. I was like, fuck, I'm sorry, guys. Like,
we played at 1, and most everybody shot 2 cases. And we didn't get started until 10:30. We were out there. We drove 2 hours there. We got there at 8:30. We did dick around, but we walked the field, got a few game plans. What we were honestly waiting around for other teams to show up. And then, some guys didn't want to play, they wanted to smoke. But
that's on them. I don't know if any of them listen to this, but they know who they are.
Didn't want the smoke. But it's good. It's good that, everybody played. We played against ourselves. We played some 4-on-4, 30-second games, 3-on-3s, race to the 50s, did a lot of good in-game drills. I think we got a really good practice. So I think this August 9th practice is going to be a grinder. I think it's going to be a really good game. Really good
I think so too.
There's going to be a lot of teams that I knew a long time ago that I used to bully around that are going to be up there wanting to draw blood. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be great for us to get a lot of teams that we haven't played against in a long time. Or
we'll bully them around.
Most of you guys haven't played against them.
Yep.
You guys were kids when I was playing with them. So now they're all my age, or not a little older, and they're up there playing with different people or whatever. But I think it's going to that'll be a hell of a practice. And I think, talk to Jamie about it. I think he's going to see how tight the leash can get from Hope and snatch on him. But I think he said he thinks he can make the 9th practice, and then he'll obviously take off. Then for those who don't know, Jamie, one of our good players, is having a kid on the 17th, I think.
17th, 18th, 19th of August, somewhere around there.
I think they said they're going to, push through and have the kid around the 17th for the C-section or whatever. I'd imagine he'll probably miss a week, I would say, but he knows that the event is on the 23rd. So that gives him 5 or 6 days. I'm not really sure how that whole thing works. I don't really know the whole pregnancy thing, but I did talk to him this week. He does know the dates, and he thinks he's going to miss the MVPS, which is fine. But he thinks he's going to go to that practice the week, 2 weeks prior, and then skip MVPS, and then chill, and then hopefully make the CPSL. That's what he's planning on.
Yep.
We definitely.
For those of y'all that don't know, we are in 3rd place in the standings with CPSL. We won the
while we dicked around the first event.
While we dicked around the first event, and we're only it's 2 points separates 3rd and 2nd, and 15 or 20 points separates the top 4 games.
And we trolled the first event. We literally, I was throwing games so we can go home because the tournament wasn't going to end until. Sorry. The tournament didn't end until almost midnight. We were still 4.5 or 5 hours away from our home.
Yeah, so, and we were still 3.5. We were 4 hours away from midnight.
Yeah. It was 8 o'clock, and we had basically a free ride into the quarters, and I threw points. Like, we were winning. We were going to 4-0 a team. I started throwing the towel in and burning points on purpose, so we would have we would technically lose and play more points, but because if we would have stayed, we would have played until fucking midnight and then had to drive home and not be home until 5 a.m.
Yeah.
And work the next day at 5:30. So it just wasn't going to happen. And most of you guys might not believe us, but literally the event didn't get done until midnight. They turned the lights on and ran it all night long.
Crazy.
So they've made changes and limited the divisions since then. But yes, we took, I think, 8th out of the 30 teams that showed up the first time.
Yep.
We only played 4 of our 5 of our own guys. We had 3 other walk-ons with us that are from HCR, which are good buddies of ours. They play with us. And then the second event took a little bit serious and just stomped everybody out. And then this will be the third event. And we hope that we can do well at the blind layout. So you've heard us talk about the blind layout before. We're going to see how that works out for us. And then the fourth event, I'm really looking forward to. I don't give a shit if we take last place this event. I'm playing the last event because it's at a brand new field in dead middle Myrtle Beach on the Strip. It's asphalt field with brand new pro turf laid on top of it that nobody's played on yet, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So I am 1,000% waiting for that event.
And plus, that could be the last event for the year for us.
Yep.
Very possible.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess it hasn't been announced yet, but I bet no World Cup. I'm saying it here.
Yeah, I think Chris Cox or Truesdale talked about flying out and playing with us that event.
Okay. That'd be cool.
We shall see. I'm not sure yet. So Chris is also talking about flying out and playing his MVPS next weekend if he gets the okay from the old lady. So we shall see.
Cool. That'd be good.
But that was my topic.
That was your topic. Yeah, no, that was good. This is a good little episode we got here, considering somebody wasn't prepared, but it is what it is. So I have one announcement. We do have merch now.
Woo!
So what I'm gonna do, this was something that Jamie actually gave me.
Who was our first customer to the store?
As that lady in the background back there.
Oh, a lady in the background.
And she's
stuffing her face full of beer and pizza while playing Call of Duty.
Uh-huh. And she's missing out on a little bit. Jamie gave me this idea. He said what I should do, and I'm going to do it. When this podcast comes out, in the description, I'm going to have a 15% off coupon that'll run for 72 hours. So if you listen to this and buy anything, you'll get 10%, 15%. I don't know what I'm going to decide to do, but you will get a discount. So, and I'll just put it in the description.
You're a piece of shit, dude.
So your wife paid full price, and so did my mom. So, but yeah, so just look in the description if you want to buy anything. It helps us pay for this lovely podcast that we do.
Whee!
So there's really nothing else more in it for us.
Plus, we need more bullets and stuff like that. So.
And you can check out the hashtag 2020 committed shirts I put up in there. I hadn't told anybody.
Get you a shirt. Gives you a hashtag 2020 committed shirt. Everybody needs that shirt. Especially the guys on our team. They need that shirt.
Yep. So they're in there. But that's what I had. Nothing else from you, Wes?
That's what I had. Any announcements, babe? Nothing? Good?
I think so. Don't put me on the spot.
Did you win that last game of Call of Duty?
No, probably not.
I've been doing the campaign.
Oh, okay.
Very interesting.
That's good. You can't lose the campaign, so that's a plus.
She wants to start playing on mouse and keyboard, so I told her I hooked it up and told her to play through the campaign because all she does is play online. That's all she ever plays.
Yeah.
And so she's playing through the mouse and keyboard now, training on campaign. So
it's a good way to do it.
Yeah.
When I was quarantined for that 8 weeks, I should have played on mouse and keyboard because I would have been.
Yes, you definitely picked up and been unreal.
But I didn't, and I'm back to work now, and I haven't played since probably May. But that's it for me. Wes, double checking.
That's it, man.
We're
good.
All right, I'll take us out of here.
All right.
Thank you all for listening. I don't know, this episode is coming up after the Chris Cox one, so I hope y'all listen. That's a very good episode. Coming up soon, we will have another guest on. We're kind of doing every other week. It'll be me and Wes, then a guest, me and Wes, and a guest, depending on how long we can keep that up. But I thank you guys for listening, and be sure to check everything out, buy some merch, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later, boys.